One afternoon, I was searching for old newspaper stories about my great-grandfather, and I accidentally found a headline that stopped my heart. It was the death of his daughter, a young woman who tragically lost her life in a kitchen explosion in 1902. No one in my family knew this story. It wasn't in a birth record. It wasn't in a death certificate. It was buried in a newspaper. And that's when I realized our ancestors didn't leave their stories in government files. They left them in the news. Have you ever felt like your family tree just stops? You have a name, you have a date, maybe a census record, but you can't find anything else about this person. No story, no personality, no clue what their life was actually like. That's where newspapers come in. Because newspapers didn't just record when people were born and died, they recorded how they lived, and sometimes how they died. I want to tell you about something I found completely by accident. I was searching for my Franzwa family in Minnesota when a headline jumped out at me. Mistake was fatal. The article told the story of a young woman named Mary Franzwa, my grandmother's sister. She was a domestic servant in St. Paul in 1902. Mary was only 15 years old. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and Mary decided to build a fire in the kitchen stove and accidentally grabbed a can of gasoline instead of coal oil. The stove exploded. The newspaper described how the explosion nearly blew her out of the house. She ran forth onto the street with her clothing a mass of flames. Neighbors arrived and tried to save her by attempting to remove the burning clothing. She was taken to the city hospital by the Margaret Street Patrol, but she died at 11 o'clock that night. Her father, my great-grandfather, Peter Franzwa, was named in the article. His home address was listed at the end of the article. And suddenly, my family wasn't just a name in a tree. They were people living in real houses, in real danger, in real heartbreak. To this day, I still haven't found her death certificate. Even if I did, no death certificate would have ever told me that story. Only the newspaper did. The key to unlocking these hidden family stories often isn't in dusty government archives at all, but in the everyday pages of old newspapers. As one genealogy expert put it, newspaper archives are a goldmine of information for family historians. They're packed with notices, court reports, local news, and adverts. They add color, context, and crucial facts to your family tree. Think of all the possible nuggets: birth or marriage announcements, obituaries, accidents or court cases, even school and sports news. Details that bring ancestors to life in ways official records don't. Here are a few things you can find in the newspaper. Vital events, births, marriages, and death notices were routinely printed, often with parents' names, dates, and locations. Legal and public notices. Look for probate notices, land sales, missing persons, or military draft lists, especially during the wars. Community news. Clubs, church societies, school honors, travel announcements, and athletic achievements. Your great-grandparents' win at the local vegetable contest might be documented. Unexpected stories. Newspapers carried crime reports, weather events, accidents, and human interest stories. You might learn of an ancestor's heroic deed or tragic accident long forgotten in family lore. Newspapers not only confirm dry facts, they add color and personality to genealogy. As Family Tree magazine notes, even something as insignificant seeming as a prize for parsnips in the annual district vegetable competition tells us our ancestor was a real person, and it adds an extra layer to the stories of our lives. Thanks to digitization, many newspapers are now searchable online. Two major resources are newspapers.com, a subscription-based archive with over 1 billion pages of historical newspapers from around the world. It covers thousands of U.S. titles, from colonial-era papers to recent ones, and many international papers, UK, Canada, and Australia. This site is very powerful, but it requires a paid subscription. But often you can find free trials. It includes large indexes of obituaries, marriage and birth announcements that you can browse once subscribed. Chronicling America, a free, publicly funded site. Chronicling America provides millions of pages of U.S. newspapers published roughly between the late 18th century and 1963. It's part of a National Endowment for the Humanities project, and it includes papers for almost every state and territory. No login or fee is required. Anyone can search it. Now let me show you something very different, but just as interesting. I was searching for newspaper articles again, this time in the 1960s, and I stumbled on a feature article about my mother. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't tragic. It was a story about my mom and her life as a homemaker. I was only 18 months old at the time this was published. She talked about her house, her children, her hobbies, her favorite recipe, and her daily life. I love this paragraph of the article. Mrs. Hun enjoys trying new recipes, and one she likes this time of year is soda cracker pie. It's especially good with fresh peaches and whipped cream, she said. And the recipe was even printed in the article. I'm definitely going to try it. A whole newspaper column was devoted to the mothers in the neighborhood where I grew up, including my mom. And suddenly she wasn't just mom in my memory. She was a woman living in her time, being seen, valued, and recorded by her community. That story didn't exist anywhere else. My mom never boasted about her story in the newspaper. That wasn't her style. No census record could ever tell me how she decorated her home, her favorite recipe, or how she spent her days. Only the newspaper did. And this doesn't just apply to the United States. If your ancestors were from England, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, or Canada, their lives were recorded too. Newspapers followed immigrants across oceans. They printed ship arrivals, marriages, deaths, and letters from home. If your ancestor crossed borders, newspapers followed them. For example, the British Newspaper Archive, via Find My Past, holds tens of millions of British and Irish papers from the 18th through the 20th centuries. The search is free, but if you find something you want to view, this will require a subscription. Australia's National Library runs Trove, which contains free Australian newspapers, and New England's Papers Past holds free New Zealand newspapers. Many academic libraries also subscribe to large databases, like ProQuest, for example, and let you search newspapers for free if you go to their library. So I encourage you to check your local library's digital resources and any national archives for the countries relevant to your family. Many national libraries, Canada, France, Germany, etc., have digitized titles, often through regional websites. For example, Library and Archives Canada has newspaper collections. A quick web search for historical newspapers and then type the country you're looking for can lead you to equivalent archives. Once you pick a site, strategy is key. Here are some tips for finding your ancestor amid the millions of pages. Use full names and dates. Search for a full name and include approximate birth year or event year if you know it. This will narrow the hits. Try exact phrases. Put quotes around phrases. For example, searching John Smith in quotes as an exact phrase looks for that name together. Chronicling America's advanced search lets you choose this exact phrase or all of these words, etc. If you're searching for two names that might be far apart, like a person's name and a relative's name, use all of these words. So both terms must appear on the page even if separated. Use proximity searches. If available, use options like within 5 to 10 words of each other. For instance, Chronicling America's advanced search allows these words within 5 words of each other, which is great when OCR errors or extra text might separate the names. It catches cases where a name might be broken across a line or misspelled. Alternate spellings and keywords. Historic OCR, which stands for Optical Character Recognition, often introduces errors. Try variant spellings or partial words. For example, if searching the term appomattox, also try different spellings like Appomattox or Appomattox. Similarly, a French name might appear as Marie or Mary, so try both. Narrow by date or location. Limit the date range to the years your ancestor lived. If you know they were in Kansas from 1850 to 1860, restrict the search accordingly. Many archives let you filter by newspaper title or by city or state. Use these filters to your advantage to weed out irrelevant results. Look beyond names. If names yield nothing, search for addresses, towns, workplaces, or unique events. For example, try a street name, a church, a military unit, or even a family nickname. Being systematic pays off. Start broad, then refine. Try typing your ancestor's name plus the word died or married into the search box and see what turns up. If you get too many results, add another keyword, like the town name, or restrict by date. Historic newspapers aren't just theory. They've answered questions. Here are a few real examples. A genealogist named Paul Theberge had hit a dead end about his grandfather. Then he found a Lewiston Evening Journal article from January 19, 1897, of his grandfather's wedding. The article describes the entire ceremony in such detail: the weather, the decor, what color the flowers were, what the bride was wearing, and every step of the wedding procession. Paul said it read just like it happened yesterday. This wedding report gave him names of family members and confirmed anecdotes he'd only heard of but wasn't sure if they were true or not. Pamela Bingham uncovered a 1900 Nebraska newspaper tale about her 19-year-old great-grandmother Martha, who had a collection of 256 rattlers from rattlesnakes. The story recounts a tale when she was visiting her uncle in the Niobrara River area of Nebraska when they suddenly became surrounded by rattlesnakes and blue racers. Martha's uncle told her to stand still and not make a move so she wouldn't get attacked by snakes. But she was not going to stand by during such danger. Instead, Martha proceeded to join her uncle in clubbing the snakes until every snake in sight was disposed of. Pamela was stunned. I had never heard this story in my family before finding this about her in the newspapers. It was a sensation reported in papers nationwide, a slice of history that official records, of course, never captured. In Australia, Mike Smith discovered a 1945 article in the West Australian about his father, listed as Walter John Smith, who'd gone hunting and got lost in the bush. This piece reports that they had got lost and were found safe and sound 2 days later. Mike later learned this story was completely unknown to his family. Until I discovered this article, no one in the family knew about this episode, he said. The clip turned a mysterious footnote in family lore into a documented adventure. These examples show the power of newspapers. Events that left no paper trail otherwise were recorded in the local press. Each clipping unlocked a richer family story. If official records fail, turn to the news archives. Newspapers can confirm facts that fill gaps, and they often yield surprises. Genealogist David Annell summarizes it well. You just never know what you will find, even small everyday details. That helps us to see your ancestors as real people. Whether you use a paid site like newspapers.com or free tools like Chronicling America or other international archives, the approach is the same. Search systematically, be creative with terms, and dig into those old editions. Your ancestors' lives were lived in public, on the printed page. Their births, marriages, jobs, and even misadventures were news at the time. By exploring historic newspapers, you're giving those ancestors a voice again. So next time you hit a dead end, remember to search the headlines. You might just uncover your family's hidden chapter in the annals of the past. If this video made you curious about your own family's past, I'd love for you to join me here and subscribe to my channel. And start searching the newspapers for someone in your family this week. If you find something surprising, share it in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to keep going. Well, that's it for today, folks. Thank you for watching. Good luck with your research, and I'll see you in the next one.